Feel. This feeling right now, man, I swear it feel. Yeah, it's all about us.
All right, we are back. We're here.
What is up, socially awkward fucking zoo animals?
It's our first ever episode. Welcome.
Oh, God.
Welcome to the
Dude,
first.
I'm feeling much better this week.
Are you? That's
Yeah.
good.
Yesterday was like the first...
Oh, dude. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yesterday was like the first day of like really feeling better and like not really coughing a ton.
That's good.
Thanks to...
Thanks to the good medicines of 2019.
Yeah, well, thanks to all the women that thought that my voice was the
did
sexy sick and not the
Really?
fucking...
The nasally? It was nasally as shit, dude. What? I don't know what girls... You probably paid them.
Dude.
All that new fucking... You got that
Dude,
magazine money
hey,
now and shit.
Dude,
You got
listen.
that fucking... Now you're in top 100, finance
Hey.
article shit. Now you're all of a sudden you're buying girls to say that your voice is sexy.
It sounded good, dude, with the gravel. And it might
There was
even
no
still
gravel,
be a
it was-
little bit.
Sounded like Squidward, dude.
It's still a little bit.
Now it's gravelly. Now it might pass as sexy.
Now it was...
Now you got some salt and pepper in there. Now you
Nah.
got that...
Oh.
A DMX, dude, and fucking
Just a little bit of...
because I was gonna,
Oh!
I don't know how long. So we're trying to do a timer because every episode we're concerned about time, and it's always shorter than it. Than
Sometimes
we're
though,
thinking
dude,
is. Yeah,
like,
sometimes no.
It really
but-
just depends. And what I was thinking about this earlier because you keep bringing it up. And, like what I kind of am realizing is that it seems like on episodes that we have shit to say, then we say it.
Right.
And on episodes where, like, if we run out of shit to say, we know that and we cut it off.
Right. Well, but like my main thing with it is that I want to know because I feel like a lot of times we cut ourselves off and go on runs because we feel like we're going for 2 hours. Like we've had some podcasts where we think that we're going for 3.5 hours. I'm like, dude,
Well,
fuck, we're
and
gonna have to redo this. We can't release a 3.5 hour podcast.
Yeah,
and
what
then it's
are
like
we?
an hour and a
The
half.
Titanic? No, well, the
What are
thing
we,
of that,
Rogan?
what happened with that was I think daylight savings had a lot to do with it because
It did, yeah. It was the change of the
you start to get darker earlier and it's like, we're at the
still
gym.
doing the same
and-
time.
Yeah, well, we're still basically about the same. We're getting a little bit of a late start. It's
Today we are.
MLK Junior Day, so I honestly thought it was going to be an earlier start, but
I did too. Well, show went on.
show
in
went
our
on.
life.
Yeah, well, you got an electric guitar, so that's been taking up a lot of time.
Yeah, it has been. Before we get into that, thanks for tuning into episode 26. We haven't said that yet. We've been just excited to be here. I am too, but I do want to introduce ourselves. I'm Z,
I'm Justin.
and thank you for tuning in. But yeah,
I'm pretty excited, dude, to
electric
get to the
guitar.
point where we're not going to have to fucking do that.
That I know.
I'd like to welcome all
I don't
the
know
new,
if we have to,
the new
though. Yeah,
faces.
I think we're good, but like we're getting a lot of
I
people
just-
from Instagram joining in, so welcome.
Most
Uh,
people know who's who.
Yeah, at this point, 26 episodes in, at least you should.
And we sound different enough, dude.
Some people say we don't though. Like I've called before. Like I've called mom, and I'll call her.
phone is different
then-
than this.
Yeah,
this is
but-
high quality microphoneage. We've got,
Well, yeah, we definitely sound different.
it's
usually
not.
one
We're
of
not a
them's more-
fucking telephone.
Yeah, one of them's more overpowered than the other usually. But I've noticed that listening to other podcasts, I'm like, dude, theirs is like that too. Like theirs mic is not as powered. Like when there's a
Dude,
a
last
third man
week's,
in-
I apologize. I was so quiet last week.
yeah,
I didn't
well-
have my headphone. Now I got them. Obviously, I got my headset.
yeah.
Anyways, what
But-
what happened last week? What was up last week for you?
Well, nothing other than on yesterday, I got the electric guitar, dude, and I've just been thumbing around, dude.
Jamming out
yeah,
with
having
your
the
clam
time
out?
of my life, man. I feel like I am a kid again.
That's cool, man. I'm excited that you're doing it because you've come a long way with the acoustic guitar, and
I need to branch out. I felt like
yeah.
I was getting kind of bored because I play for like about an hour a
Well,
day. About
dude. Well, I envy it because I wish I could play the guitar But I'm not an axe man.
I don't even know how I ended up getting into it. Like, cause I tried. We both did when we were like
when we were
grade.
young guns.
And then I've always kind of been fascinated by guitar playing. But then like when I got older, I got more into hip hop, and I didn't listen much as rock. And I still probably listen to more hip hop than rock overall. But I definitely go through those rock phases and like to go back and listen to like all of that. And I even like metal. Like my genre is so diverse.
Yeah.
And what I like about playing the guitar, and as corny as this sounds, I like having something that's not tech related, not anything, like something that I can do that's not.
There's no motive.
There's no motive. Like I'm just doing something because it's fun to do. I'm not on my phone. I'm not.
That's good, yeah.
I'm doing something that's not, I'm learning a language.
Right, yeah. That's cool.
So
I wish I could do it. Well, it's funny, dude. We got these things too, these little figurines. And the one on the left there is Kurt Cobain.
Represents me because I'm a little darker.
Well, it's Kurt Cobain, and then this is Slash. And what was funny, dude, was we were walking in with him today, and I was like, dude, grab your Kurt Cobain. And he's like, why am I Kurt Cobain? And I looked at him, I was like,
how are you not Kurt Cobain?
I was like, dude, how are you not Kurt Cobain between the two of us? I'm literally wearing aviator sunnies. I have dark hair. You have no sunnies. You're left-handed and you're blonde. And you're way sadder than me. I'm just in a different world, is all. I'm just lost. I'm from a different galaxy. I'm not from here. I'm trying to fit in.
Oh, man.
You got to deal with something.
Kind of grungier.
You're real grungy.
Growing my hair out.
Kind of dressed like a lesbian.
Hey, man, I support it.
Me too, but like I'm just saying. That's
Kurt Cobain.
No, I love Kurt Cobain, dude.
Was the man. Anyways.
But yeah, you're definitely definitely Kurt Cobain. And
plus, like, you don't like you just started liking Nirvana.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was. Well, we always had to bag skate to Nirvana when I was a young kid.
You always had beef with them for that.
But Slash, I've always had a fascination because he's like he would have these solos that would just go forever, but he would just stand there exactly like that
the entire time.
The entire time, where like other rock stars are jamming around and jumping up and down and dancing, doing shit. Like, I like that, too. Angus Young, AC/DC, shout out to him.
Well, one thing I want to say, like, before we move on from
Slash
guitar
was a G.
Is, he was. But it's sad, though, because, like, we were kind of talking about it. And we weren't planning on really talking about it here, but it bums me out that no one really likes that kind of music anymore. Like, no one really is listening to it. And it sucks, probably mainly because no one's really making new stuff. But, like, pretty much in general, like no one really, like you don't really see people going back and listening to like Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Ghetto Boys. They're not like no one's really.
If they do, it's more of like just to say it that they do it.
Yeah.
Like, but the difference is
there's genuine times to where that's the only thing I listen to is just like 80s, 90s hip hop or 70s rock or 60s rock even or like.
Well, I think what yeah, dude. Well, what's cool is I think when you can take it a step further and you can like start to go into these artists' influences and stuff like that. Like
right.
When you start looking into like
it's fun because you can piece together everything.
Yeah, like who Led Zeppelin was influenced by.
Right.
And you think like these guys, you were saying none of them were white. And number two, half of it was like legit slave music, like music that slaves created.
Well, we were asking each other last night, he was saying, I wonder who the oldest musician that I like is. And then I said, oh, for me, it's probably a guy named Robert Johnson. And Justin's like, oh, yeah, it's probably for me, too. I wonder how old he is. So we look him up because we didn't know. But he's like the guy who created blues pretty much.
Yeah.
So he lived on a plantation in Mississippi, and I was reading about it. He was born in 1911, born in 1938. They're saying because
died
of
in
syphilis.
1938.
Yeah, died in 1938. Saying because of syphilis, but he was, I guess, flirting with a woman, and he was killed on a plantation.
Yeah,
Some
well, he
fucked up
was
shit.
he was visiting a plantation to do a performance.
Yeah.
And
it was
was flirting with probably one of the slaves there, and was likely murdered. And then they just
because there's a whole theory that came out. But what's so sad to me is his music didn't even get released with like a label or anything until the 60s. The first album came out in the 60s to the public.
And then again in 90, right?
90, yeah.
That's nuts.
I mean, so you're looking at, he probably made those songs, and some of these songs are songs that everyone would know.
One of the best guitar players. One of the best guitar players of all time.
Well, and that's how I found him, is I was looking through the Rolling Stone magazine's like top 100 guitar players of all time or something. That's what got me in. When I first got into guitar playing like 2 years ago, I was like, oh, I'm just going to look up this best guitar players of whatever all time. So I started looking him up, and I found him that way. But I didn't realize how old and like to what degree like he really was, that he pretty much created
it goes
blues.
back, dude, and then you trace it all
blues,
you trace it all back, and if it's not Bob Dylan that created it, it's probably
Robert Johnson.
Well, or just like
some of those guys.
It's either gospel or like field music.
Yeah.
And that's really like the root of everything, and to see where it all goes from there is I think really cool.
Yeah.
But rock and roll, dude, is one of those genres where
it's just such a bummer, man. Like I wish people celebrated it more.
It's just
like,
not
they'll wear the t-shirts.
Yeah.
They'll sing along to Fucking Africa by Toto at the club.
Dude,
but
get
God forbid,
off of Africa.
God forbid someone listens to a Led Zeppelin track.
Get off of Africa.
God forbid we turn on Motley Crue. God forbid we listen to Nirvana.
Why is Motley Crue even being brought up?
It's better than Toto.
You gonna kickstart my heart?
I might. Dude, are you talking shit about Motley Crue?
I'm not a huge Motley Crue guy.
Anyways, Slash, Nirvana, there's so many good bands, and we're going to choose. Like, dude, play Smells Like Teen Spirit at the club.
Okay, yeah.
Entertain us.
No, dude.
And it's gonna... Yeah. Everyone's just going nuts, dude. That would probably start all the fights in the club. Anyways, dude, let's get moving. We're
last week I was for me I was just sick. Yeah, I didn't do shit.
And then what else happened? Oh, Saturday.
Well,
we watched
before we watched the fights, we watched Sebastian Maniscalco's new special.
Yeah, we did.
Dude,
that's so funny.
He has taken over, I think, as my number one favorite stand-up comedian.
Yeah, he's up there for sure for me.
I mean, he's so funny and so creative.
It was just like you said, is you told me before you watched it, is that you were saying that every bit was funny. Like there's a funny part, like you laughed in every bit, and I did too. Yeah. I thought the entire thing was so funny.
He's such a funny dude.
But what's funny is it was so relatable, even for like, he was talking about how he was brought up. But like how he was brought up, it felt so similar. Like it hit so close to home, because it was like, oh shit, dude, like that's like that's what it was like for us even.
Right.
And Sebastian's probably our parents' age, or a little younger probably, but maybe a little bit.
I mean, he's blown up and he's killing it.
Good
but
for him though.
Yeah, that special was hilarious.
So funny. But yeah, on the fights, it was the first fight card on ESPN. That was cool.
Shout out to ESPN 8
getting their shit locked up,
dude.
A lot of people are complaining though, saying that it wasn't working.
Fuck anybody complaining.
Well, that's probably because they tried to sign up too late. Probably. I've done that with pay-per-views where you try to get the pay-per-view too late, and it's like, dude, we can't. I don't know what to tell you.
We did that with Mayweather Pacquiao,
and then the Jones, this last Jones Gus fight.
Yeah, that was a fucking nightmare
on every account. But congrats to Henry Cejudo, and shout out to Henry.
He's out of our gym.
Yeah, well, we just started training again at Fight Ready. And so if you're actually in the Scottsdale area and you're looking for a good MMA gym to train, that's the spot.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it because it's fun. It's not too, like it's not as intense as what you would normally expect. Like when you think of an MMA gym, you think of real dark, concrete, walls.
Dude, no, it's bright and it's
red,
feels,
white, and blue, and you feel
it just
American
feels dope.
as shit, and you feel just like you want to.
And you just got guys
positive,
that are there
positive,
to help, help and adjust, and
it's a really cool community.
Great people.
But yeah, so congrats to Henry and shout out to him for winning the belt.
And the whole team.
Defending the belt, not winning. He already had the belt. But yeah, and then one thing we wanted to talk about.
Rachel Ostovich wanting to be...
Oh, yeah. No one knows who that is, man. It's just not fun when we...
I know.
It's not an MMA podcast. She's super hot, I know. She's got the ass of the year.
Dude, that fight, though, that girl fight was like...
Show some respect, though. They're professional athletes.
It was nuts, though.
It was. I couldn't get over myself, but I'm a piece of shit. But, yeah, so... I'm not. But, yeah, so one thing we wanted to talk about, though, is... we were pulling out of Starbucks the other day, and we saw a homeless gentleman. Justin, can you tell us all three of us, who that was? What that homeless guy looked like?
Yeah, dude, the homeless guy was bigger than both Z and I.
Bigger as in jacked. Like this dude.
I don't mean bigger as in out of shape. I don't mean bigger as in fatter. I don't mean bigger as in anything other than this dude ate more protein and lifted more weights than
took
Z.
More supplements.
And took more supplements and vitamins than both Z and I. This motherfucker, dude, had a sign that said...
Anything helps.
Need help. Anything helps.
Hungry. Are you?
Yeah,
No, you're not.
Are you hungry, dude? Because honestly, you look like you're about to start a cut.
You probably are hungry, man, because you eat every 3 hours.
Yeah, dude.
Because
like
you're taking your first 5 hours off of
like
eating.
You're
no shit,
about
you're hungry.
to finish your bulk.
It's a bodybuilder whose account went overdrafted for the first time because of the gym membership, because he's buying all this shit on protein powder, and then he's like, "Well, fuck, I'm starving, man. It's been 4 hours," and someone at the gym's like, "Dude, I had to panhandle once." He's like, "That's a good fucking idea, bro. Dude, let me get some pre-workout before." And he stands out there and he's just hunched over, dude, just like, anything helps.
Yeah.
Anything helps. That guy's not trying to score cigarettes. That guy's trying to score some pre-workout.
That guy's trying to score some D-ball.
He's trying to score some BC. Nah, dude, not even. He's just trying to get some BCAAs.
That guy's trying to score some fucking creatine and
he's just trying to get his
D-ball.
life back together.
You know what, dude? Yeah, this guy, and then
he's looking for gas money.
And then our window was down, and he has the audacity to yell inside and says, "Don't forget to smile."
I'm sorry.
I didn't, and I won't. I'm still.
But.
And then he laughed. He laughed because I said that, like, this fucking asshole. And I'm like, dude, listen. You got bigger arms than me.
Yeah.
And I don't have small arms.
Dude, we're not tiny. Like, we work out.
I have decent sized arms.
And dude, don't wear a tank top either. Like, for sure, like, dude, dress it down.
I'm a little more cut than this dude probably, which tells you everything right there, all you need to know. Yeah. I'm not that ripped.
So that means he's not that homeless.
Yeah. Or that hungry.
Yeah, or that hungry.
Dude, the
guy he had gel in his hair, dude. You can't have gel and hairspray in your hair and be fucking begging for money. I didn't even have gel in my hair. It was like, bro, yeah, let me borrow some of that gel and I'll give you fucking money.
I didn't even have underwear. I didn't have nothing on.
Dude,
this dude had...
I could just smell the Dolce & Gabbana cologne, dude, just coming through the air.
Nah, he had Drakkar Noir. He had that Drakkar
Noir. Guy had
Noir.
Gucci loafers on.
No, dude, but no, this guy was for sure not. He was pulling someone's leg. And
I guess there's these two old guys down in Tempe that have a shtick that they bring these suitcases and they just park up and then they like pretend to be really hunched over.
Yeah.
And our Mimi, shout out to Meme, she warned us and said, hey, don't give those guys money because that's a shtick. They're not actually...
It's a scam.
Yeah, they're not bent over. And I'm like, all right, well...
They're not all cranked over like that.
But they're pretty cranked over as they're showing. I mean, they're going to be cranked over by the time
Yeah, this is probably like Elliot. This is probably Elliot in the 101, dude. And this...
See him turning.
And this man is just like... If you remember,
there's two of them.
Yeah, well, one of them, though, the one is like if the Hunchback in Notre Dame graduated from Notre Dame... and then went straight to Rome and became the Pope.
Right.
You know, that was the escalation. This dude is real cranked over.
Yeah, he looked like you could probably have you know what? He looks like a kid's table to where like, you know, he's not a big table.
Yeah.
But he's bent over like a table, like the kids' table, and then he's usually wearing like a flannel of some kind, so he looks like a little kid's picnic table.
Yeah, dude, I think like we got to do a better job of helping get these people, you know, on their feet and in a more efficient situation for their life because, you know, unfortunately I don't
know if they want to.
Well, that's the problem.
They
is
don't
like
want to. They make money.
I know they're making too much money tax free to want to do different shit.
Right, because like Chiba Hut, the restaurant, the sub shop.
Yeah,
I was when I was working with the Coyotes.
Mm-hmm.
We all went to lunch at Chiba Hut, and there's a dude with a ponytail at the counter.
Run.
And he just, I ordered my thing, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm really social. I actually used to panhandle, so I learned a lot of skills from that." And I'm like, "Sorry, did you say you panhandled?" And telling me that's on now.
I actually interviewed a guy, and that was on his resume the other week. Panhandle, and he had a report of
sales.
He had an Excel spreadsheet, dude, of all things.
Proof of concept and everything.
He had an Excel spreadsheet of his productivity as far as panhandling.
Meetups of like panhandlers, and they're like, "All right, guys, let's see the numbers. How would you bring in this week?"
It's not an accountability meeting, no. But like when Meech and I, it's not funny, dude. When Meech and I were trying to help, my boy Tyler Meacham and I were trying to help these two homeless dudes. They, they were the kind that took your money and kind of honey-dicked you and then bought drugs and did them. And that was something we had to deal with. That sucked.
I might be uneducated with homeless people, but I don't have a lot of love for them. Because I've seen people worse off that never went like that, and
everybody's situation's different. I mean, you can definitely get handcuffed.
Hold on. There's a difference between a panhandler and someone being homeless, though. Let's say that. I have an issue with panhandlers more so than I do if you're homeless. If you're homeless, most of the time there's nothing you can do about it. You don't have any money.
Yeah, well, if you're not homeless,
but there's people that are panhandling.
If you're not homeless, yeah,
most of them are. That's the issue.
Well, I mean, but that's
or they make money.
Yeah, but I mean,
and they stay at like an
what
extended
it is.
Stay.
What happened to Meech and I was that we tried to help out these dudes who were legit homeless and legit had issues and were panhandling because of situational circumstance, right?
Right.
And so we decided we were going to help them out, give them some money and some clothes and some jobs and stuff. Right. And then they ended up not going to the jobs, and then they took the money and bought drugs, and then they got wrapped up in this vicious cycle that we all know and hate. But it was like, it wasn't that they were fine and just that was their way to make money. It was that that was just the circle that they were caught in. And I think that's probably more common than the scammers.
Yeah.
I think we have more like problems with addiction. We have more problems with job skills and stuff like that.
And that's
than we
why
do
it's worth the conversation, not the conversation,
scammers,
but changing the. I don't want.
But either way, dude, it's not that. Either way, though, it's not great to like. It still makes it hard to want to help out. People on the streets because. That situation that Meech and I went through was not a fun thing.
But it goes back to what we were talking about the episode we got back from Mexico, though. Like, those people
Mexico
are selling shit, and their kids slinging shit. Their parents are slinging shit. They're providing you at least something. Versus when you're just like, I didn't see anyone. I saw maybe like 3 people down there begging.
Yeah, no, I know, but
and I've seen one person selling a mixtape in fucking downtown Phoenix one time.
Yeah, I guess, dude. I guess where do we draw the line between
and
like
he wasn't homeless. He's just trying to get his music out.
A homeless guy and a serf. Like a serf would be like a real old times homeless person.
I do think you have to change though. Like, I think instead of sending people to prison for drug addiction, you probably send them to like more like treatment centers and stuff
right. Well,
like
Kanye,
that.
We're not talking about prison reform right now.
I'm not, but I'm just saying.
But I agree. I just think that like that's more common that we're dealing with than scammers. But scammers are relevant, dude. They'll the jacked homeless guy at Starbucks.
Yeah, dude. They're in Scottsdale too. Like, he thinks he's
man.
That's my issue too. Like, people go to certain areas too thinking like they're gonna score more. That's what my issue is. Anyone who's trying to score anything and we're not playing a sport, I have an issue with. If you're trying to score, if we're hanging out and you're trying to
score a deal,
score some chicks, don't want to hang out with you. If we happen to meet some and hang out and things start getting weird, then that's one thing. But I don't want to go score chicks. No, I don't want to go score some shots. No.
I don't want to score anything, dude.
I don't want to score anything unless I'm playing Chell and beating his ass.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to be...
I don't think you've ever beaten me in Chell.
Or like, if someone's like, hey, anyone trying to... Or like a homeless guy, hey, trying to score some drugs? Like...
Trying to score a hand job, dude.
Trying to score. Yeah, dude, if you're trying to score a hand job.
That'll get you into some slippery waters real quick.
Gosh, dude. Anyways, yeah, so the jacked homeless guy. You can't be bigger than most people and be begging for money.
No.
And have a tan, too. Like, I guess have a tan because you're standing outside. So
he didn't have really a tan, though.
It was like a fake tan.
Farmer's tan.
No, dude, it was a tan like he goes to celebrity tan, like he's got a membership. Like, he pays money to be tan. Dude, he had more grease in his hair, man, than...
Fuck that guy, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, what do we got? What else we got?
Another thing. I had an interesting question that popped up in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have to preface this, or I'll explain myself as I go. But do you think...
You usually do.
A girl... does it make a girl hotter if she's more than willing
well,
in this situation?
First of all...
Now, hold on.
I don't use that vernacular.
I know.
Hotter.
Hotter. Okay. Does it make a girl... But in this situation, it makes sense because here's what I'm going to say. Does it make her hotter if she's more than willing? Okay, so here.
More than willing?
More than...
What do you mean, dude?
Let me fucking talk. That's what I'm saying. You got to let me explain myself. You can't just keep cutting in and pressing pause and buffering for everybody, bro. You got to let me play. Wi-Fi connection's good, dude. Let it be.
All right, dude. You're a peacock fly.
All right. So what I mean by that, you're at the strip club, right?
Okay.
And she is showing that she is she's showing interest, right? Because she's at the strip club.
Yeah.
It's not real interest, but she's showing interest, right?
Yeah. There's attraction.
There's attraction. She's trying to pretend at least to be attracted.
Yeah,
to you, right? Maybe she is, but we don't know.
Yeah.
And she's dancing on you, right?
Right.
Say that girl at the strip club is
the same girl at a Starbucks. Would I think she's the same amount of hot?
Right. So, like, if she's at the strip club and she's barely got any clothes on and she's dancing on you and she's showing attraction, does it make her hotter in your eyes? Are you going to go, oh, yeah, she's more attractive? Are you justifying it in your head if you just saw her the day before at Starbucks working in line, completely normal, didn't hit on you at all, didn't even look your way, just said, hey, what's your name? Zach? Okay, I'm going to spell it Zaque because I don't give a fuck about you because you're just another person that's getting their coffee. So does it make it more attractive when she's showing interest to you?
Well, yeah.
That's more the question, not more than willing, like it's creepy. I don't mean it like that.
If a girl handles me like that at Starbucks, I mean, I might not even ever go back to that Starbucks.
Because say she's like a 6 or 7.
She's just rude.
Unless she's like, and I don't mean to, I don't want to say like, oh, but like, let's be real here. There's some girls that just for whatever reason, God made them different. Nothing we can do.
As far as being hot?
Yeah, just looks wise. There's just some girls, we all know them. We all know at least one. There's just, hey, nothing we can do. Yeah. You got to pack up your bag, take your ball, go to another court, and that's okay. Sometimes you have to.
Guys are like that too, dude, and we're comfortable grabbing our ball and heading to a different court.
Right.
That's fine.
So what I mean, though, is I think that to a lot of people it doesn't. They don't think about it. But I think when someone is showing, the point of it is, do you think that when someone is showing you attraction,
dude, yeah, if someone's rude to me, I'm less attracted than if they're fucking naked dancing on me.
The reason I thought about this is because I had a situation to where I had, like you'll be texting, say like you're texting someone.
I'll tell you why.
Say you're texting like two girls, right? And one of them, you're single, you're texting two girls. Let's just say you are. I know that it's never happened to you because you're such a weirdo and no girls talk to you. So let's all hope some of you listen to this go, oh my God, Justin's ever talked to a girl. I'm going to slide in his DMs. Now's your time because he's clearly calling for it. So you're texting two of them. Say one of them is showing less interest in you, and the other one is showing you the same, or showing you way more interest. And they're the same looks wise, like they're in the same camp.
Yeah, dude. Well, here's why I bow out of the one that's less seemingly interested, is because she's less seemingly interested, and like when it comes to relationships or dating or having a thing or going steady, anything, canoodling, even stuff like that, I don't want to be difficult or an uphill battle.
Right.
I understand that there's adversity and there's shit that you got to overcome 6-7 months down the line, and you got to figure some shit out. But if your fucking argument up until that point isn't who likes who more or who's cuter, then I really don't.
What are you doing?
Yeah, dude, I just don't really have the energy. It's not even a time thing. I don't have the energy. It's just not important enough for me. I've got too much other shit to worry about to be fucking fighting an uphill battle so that maybe, we can do whatever couples do. But it's just not. What?
Well, it's like that fucking thing I saw today. Like, I always am running into fucking.
Can you stop saying fucking so much? Because you're definitely cussing more lately than me.
I know.
We're going to do a swear jar.
I know. I apologize. Anyways, it was just like I keep seeing on Instagram, like I'll see a girl post like the text thread or something of them with like a guy conversation, Yeah. And it's funny because I just saw one the other day that it was like this guy was complaining about the girl not responding at the time that in which he was doing, because he's like, well, but you posted, so like it means I should get a text back. And she's like, no, that's not how it works. And then like they're just like a whole argument, and then they're not dating. So because she said that in the thing, she's like, I only will text someone back ASAP if it's like someone I'm in a relationship with, or blah blah blah. And then like all of a sudden the guy is just like all upset about it, and it's like, dude, hey, it's not gonna work. If you're already getting upset and you're not dating,
yeah, why are you
and
getting
you're getting in a fight with some girl because she's not texting you back, it's not gonna work out.
Even if you win the fight, dude, what's the play?
Yeah, like where you go from here?
Like, oh yeah, right, dude,
glad we got that settled.
Like, oh yeah, dude, you're right. I should totally give you a chance. Oh, cool. Now that that's fucking settled, what do you want to do for dinner? Like, it's so nuts.
Right.
But
now
like I've
settled.
But like I've even caught myself doing it. And this kind of actually leads into our next thing, which is ego, talking about ego.
Yeah.
And I think for me, like when my ego gets a little too nutty,
yeah,
that's when you jump into that. You know, like if a girl calls you out or challenges your man card or your professional whatever. Like I had a chick one time that called me out, dude, for how I dressed. And because like I've always been pretty inconsistent with how I dress. Like some days I'll wear a suit, some days I wear a t-shirt, some days I wear, and like there's really no rhyme or reason to it a lot of the time, you know. But this one girl is like calling me out for not wearing a suit all the time. And I'm like, girl, I don't need to wear a suit. And I'm like, I don't even need to say that, you know, like why not just let it go?
Yeah.
It's not about that. Just let it go.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's always the thing. And I think it takes experience,
right?
But from learning, because I always
and
just try
making
and
an idiot out of yourself too.
Right, like, dude, do you really want to be that guy who ends up on an Instagram story and some girl's got to be like, dude, fucking, gosh, again, dude, said it the F word. But like, do you really want to be that to where you're getting upset because a girl you're trying to be with, not even someone you're dating.
It's just a bad play.
It's a bad look is what I'm saying.
Yeah, because then, I mean, there's just no good way. Now, let's segue into this ego talk.
But it goes into that.
You know, I put out the question, is ego the enemy on my Instagram story? And, you know, everybody's got an opinion about egos and whether or not it's the enemy.
That ego and mindfulness are like the two words of.
Well, they're kind of hot buttons right now, you know, as far as like who's what, you know, who's the most virtuous.
Your ego has to be mindful in order to be spiritual.
Is it just kale in there, or
in my coffee?
Yeah.
It's matcha tea.
Okay.
Matcha tea.
Matcha tea. Which is actually really good for you and pretty tasty if you get it right.
Yeah. Get it to the right places.
Get it right, get it tight. Okay, so ego, is ego the enemy? I put it out on the story, and the entire day as people were voting, like it was like 1 for yes, 1 for no, 1 for yes, 1 for no, 1 for yes, 2 for no, 2 for yes, 1 for no. Damn. Back and forth. I just checked right now. It wound up being 50-50. So it literally split down the middle.
So it was just like two people, or?
No, 50-50.
Just fucking with you.
And
I was just making a joke saying like only like one person tuned in for one answer and then one person tuned in for the other.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was ASB Elite and the Weber boys that did. It was just nuts though to see like how everybody's got this opinion in it, and to see like some of the people who
voted for what.
Yeah, who voted for what. And I think some of them would be surprised depending on what their relationship is with ego. What do you think first before I get two balls deep?
As far as like, do I think it's the enemy?
Yeah.
Well, You're going to be impressed with my answer because...
Z, I'm impressed with a lot of shit you say.
Really? Thank you. For me, ego, I don't think is the enemy because I feel like you have to have some ego in order to obtain something. Like, the problem is with ego is it's always there. It always exists. It's something within you, so you can't really get rid of it. You have to just kind of accept that it's there and like just not, you can't, get too into one thing and then too out of the other. It has to be, I don't want to bite off of what you're going to say, but I definitely don't think it's the enemy because I think there has to be aspects of it that make you better. There's definitely aspects because like your ego, I feel like, is what's telling you to get back to work, that you need to get into the gym, you need to go to the office, you need to study, you need to do this, you need to do that. Like, I feel like that's ego telling you to do that.
I think...
And a lot of people don't want to say it's ego because people think that ego is just automatically bad.
Yeah, well, ego is kind of one of those things, where it's like debt, everybody just thinks it's bad. And kind of like debt, I think ego is really misunderstood in the sense that you're right. It's just there. It is just there. It's not like something that goes away, right? It's an energy. It is an energy, regardless of who you are. Like the Dalai Lama had an ego, but the difference, I think, on whether ego is good or bad is pretty dependent on situationally what someone's going through and how their relationship is with their ego, at that time. Like, I know for me that at a lot of different points in my life where, I had a real bad relationship with my ego that was just like, I just didn't know it. I had no control over it. It just was like essentially a monster that would take over in certain situations and then say shit or do shit that now, I'd punch myself in the face for some of the things I've done or said to people, but at that time, it's because you don't have control over your ego. But now, I will never get rid of my ego. I'll never kill my ego. I think that that's such a dangerous way to go about life because it's not possible.
Exactly.
And to pretend that it is would to pretend that
that's having more of an ego than
it is, because you're essentially pretending that you're higher than other people or that you're more virtuous or that you're whatever, and it's just not
you're
that.
You're trying to achieve a next level that you can't get to.
What changed my opinion of ego and what really helped me was there was a podcast that I listened to with Aubrey Marcus, who is the founder of Onnit, which is a supplement company, but he was talking to this guy, Makad Brooks, who's I don't know exactly what he does. A lot of shit. He's a talented dude, and he was talking about ego and just that, like, he was sitting in his car one day and kind of like being what was that word you were saying earlier?
I say so many words.
I know, but fuck, it was
ego.
Mindful. He was having his mindful time, and he could like feel that there was this force or this energy, and he could feel that it was his ego. And he's like calling it out, and it answered back to him, and he's like, "What's your name?" Answered back to him again as a name, realized it was his ego, and then he just said, "I love you" to it, and then it was like all good.
Yeah.
And he had like that relationship with it, and essentially the message of that was like, all your ego is an energy, and just like any other type of energy that is around us, it just needs love and attention in the right way.
Right.
And there's productive ways to use it.
Well, and that's the other thing too. But the problem is I feel like everyone is making something say that that's a truth. Like ego is this. Ego's not that. Whatever you're gonna say, ego is ego.
Right.
Ego is just itself, and I feel like so many people, it goes against their mindful tactics because they're judging the ego, and you're not supposed to judge.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sitting there, you're judging your ego as if it's bad when it's just an ego. That's like saying, looking at a single person and saying that's bad. Well, it's not bad. What makes that bad? It might be bad to somebody, but let's define bad.
Right.
It's subjective. It's not objective.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, dude, that's my thing with ego. I think that there's a right way to do it. There's obviously a wrong way to do it. But
I think self-awareness, though, is like the main thing that would really, that helps bring you closer to having a good ego. I think is just the self-awareness and allowing yourself to not look at yourself in such a serious manner and holding yourself like such a high level.
Yeah,
because when you do, and
humor's
you actually,
big too.
Yeah, if you break it down, if you are ever being really serious about something in your life, and I try and do it all the time, but like when you really break down whatever you're doing and then you like make fun of yourself for being like all into it, it's actually hilarious. Like if you make fun of yourself like a third grader, it's like, dude, you're upset about something at work, and it's
doesn't matter.
You have to print something, and you're pissed because you have to print, a paper, and the internet's not working. You're getting upset over that. Oh man, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
And then then you're just like, oh,
ego. I don't think you could really become great without having a good relationship with it too. And
yeah, exactly.
Like Mike Tyson was just on Rogan talking about his ego and that he wouldn't have been Mike Tyson without it, and that's true.
Yeah.
But now he's talking about wanting to kill it, and it's like, dude, well then you wouldn't be you. Just change
a piece of you would be missing.
Yeah, just change your relationship with it and move forward from there. That's all. And I think he's done that, but I think he's saying something different, like a lot of people are saying.
Well, I think but it almost seems like a lot of people just have a wrong idea of it completely. And I get it because there's books, like Ego's the Enemy, which is, I haven't read it, but I've heard it's a great book, and I'd love to read it to see the points. And I'm sure I would agree with most of it. But there are some of those fundamental parts that it's like, okay, now let's step back a minute, though, because you can't
just read the title and then say that.
Yeah, because, and you have to really just break things down for really what he means, because I don't know if Ryan Holiday truly means if like, oh, okay, got to kill the ego completely. Maybe there's aspects of the ego.
I think Ryan Holiday has has an ego. Like I don't think he's one of the most egotistical people, but has an ego for sure. I think like an ego is almost like a persona or what you project.
Yeah, I mean it could be anything, like
just an energy of you.
Yeah. So I think that's the thing. It's interesting. It's interesting to see, like you were saying, what everyone's opinion is of it and like what everyone thinks of it.
But I think situationally, if you've had it come up in your life where, like it hasn't been a useful tool or you haven't had that relationship with it to where it's like, a level of confidence is an ego thing. Going into it, like certain elements that I do require a high amount of confidence and certain things that
right.
Like if I didn't have any kind of an ego, I would just be a gray blob and I wouldn't be me, so then I wouldn't be able to do what I do.
Right.
And that's where you get dangerous with this idea of wanting to kill it. It's not, you don't need to kill it, we just need to have a different idea of it. And or a different relationship with it. But yeah,
and not judge it either.
Yeah, dude, a lot of judging, man. We gotta quit with the judging.
All in all. But anyways,
let's get into some current events.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do we got? I know something about Mariah Carey's on tap. This was crazy, dude. New lawsuit claims Mariah Carey's former assistant was urinated on at work.
Oof.
Talk about a shitty job.
I mean...
not really. Talk about a number one job, you know?
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, I'd be pretty pissed off.
That's funnier. That's good.
I would be so pissed off if I were Mariah Carey.
Dude, okay, so BuzzFeed News obtained this new suit this week. It was filed in response to a suit from Carey that claimed her assistant, Liana, was attempting to extort her. Liana is filing her own suit against the singer, claiming that she was abused and urinated on. I don't mean to laugh, dude. During her tenure as Carey's assistant.
Look at that fat Armenian ass.
Oh, yeah.
Who said that?
According to the suit, Liana makes claims she suffered abuse both mentally and physically at the hands of Carey's former manager. So not as much Mariah Carey being the problem here, but Stella Bulokchinkov in the court documents... Shakazarian Liana claims Bolochinkov made statements like, "Look at that fat Armenian ass," and touched her breasts and buttocks inappropriately. In addition, the suit claims that Bolochinkov is responsible for holding Liana down on the ground and urinating on her and allowing her to be on the presence of others on multiple occasions. They also claim that Mariah Carey was aware of the alleged behavior. I mean, here's the deal, dude. I don't know what goes on in the entertainment world. And
a lot of stuff, what it seems.
And obviously there's been some stuff that's come out in the hip-hop community as far as like Death Row Records and Suge Knight stuff that he would do. But he usually just murdered people.
We don't have a picture of her.
I don't know if no pictures.
Yeah, I was hoping to see if we could get all these people just to get an idea of what they all look like.
Of course, they're just using Mariah for clicks.
Yep.
Got me. But yeah, dude, this is nuts. You can't have this in the workforce.
No. Well, I don't even think. I mean, really, you can't have that. Anyway.
There's a special place on Craigslist, I think, where that belongs.
Yeah, well, you can pay for it. You know,
I don't think you need to pay for it. I think if you just have a few willing parties, then you could probably party. But
right,
you can't just be doing this
to do it. Yeah, that's not,
especially in the workplace. This is nuts, dude. This is Mariah Carey.
Yeah, we are talking about Mariah Carey here.
Her assistant. She sang "All I Want for Christmas Is You."
I could see the problem is with someone like I've heard stories about Mariah Carey. Obviously, everyone said that she's not the nicest person.
Diva.
And I don't think she's probably worried about her assistant. If you're someone in Hollywood, and I don't think that's right. I think that's wrong. Like, I think for sure, care about your assistant. Don't be a...
One of my old...
don't be like that, but...
One of my old barbers...
Don't let her get pissed on.
Yeah, you can't do that. One of my old barbers used to...
Get pissed on?
Oh, no, that was J-Lo's.
J-Lo.
Yeah, J-Lo's manager, my old barber used to cut his hair at Cutthroat. But what
does that have to do with pissing on people?
Well, nothing. I was just thinking it was Mariah Carey, but then I got mixed up. I get those two mixed up sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, just because of the time frame. Even, if Christina Aguilera was in a different situation, I could put her in there. I could even throw...
see that more so than...
I could throw Britney Spears in there.
All right, so you're just naming female pop stars that were famous in the early 2000s at this point.
Yeah, that's the group.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, you can't let them get pissed on, though.
No. All right, what else we got?
Okay. Next. You! Boot, boot, boot. Soulja Boy, tell him. Soulja Boy's back, dude.
He's coming out hot.
He's cranking that on everybody.
Oh, dude. I've been saying that. I wanted to say that line so bad for so long.
Bro, I said that to you in the text first.
Oh,
you said
no.
Soulja Boy's back.
No, dude,
I said he's cranking that on everybody.
Oh, no, dude, I said that.
Nope.
Z, I did. I did say that, unfortunately. But, anyways.
Oh, dude, mine would have been so much funnier anyways, dude, what I said. I said two things, and you didn't even. So here, all right. So here's the text thread, because I don't want Justin to miss out on his joke and get credit for it. So I apologize for saying that, because I thought I said it, but what I said was funnier, and you guys can agree with me. He texted me, and this is at 5:43 p.m. on a Thursday, dude. Hey, get back to work.
I was sick.
Hey, I'm working.
Read.
He says, sup with S-U-P, sup with Soulja Boy lately. And then I said, dude, IDK. And he said, man, need a chill. And I said, needs to bring back his pretty boy swag and breathe it out. And then you said, he cranking that on everyone. And I said, hasn't been up in that hoe for 10 years now.
Yeah, dude, that's all.
Been up in that hoe, you. And then you said he's jocking on him. And then
yeah, dude, mine was way funnier.
I don't know, man.
I said,
yeah, but you're good at laughing at your own shit.
Yeah, I am. Anyways, so what's the latest? Because he came out after Pusha, he came out after Drake, he came out after Kanye. He's not picking sides.
Well deserved.
He's doing his own thing.
Well, I want to say one funny thing about Soulja Boy. When Crank That came out, we had the family shared account for on iTunes, and we had one computer that we bought all of our iTunes songs off of. So if you remember, you and I had to go in that room, and we had to get Dad and say, hey, we want to get a song. We got an iTunes card for our birthday. Can we get a song? And then he would have to approve the song. So he would click the play thing on the little thing, and then it would give you like 30 seconds, and then he would like say, I'm not buying this shit, or I will buy it. So we were scrolling through the top 100, and then I knew he wasn't going to approve of Crank That, but I was like, yeah, and can you throw that one in there too real quick? And I thought he wasn't going to click on it, and then he clicks on the play, and it goes, you, do, and then it just going, Soulja Boy, tell him, and then he just looks at me like this, he goes, this what you want? And I was like, yeah. Well, I don't know if that's it. That might be the remix. I don't know. Well, I'll look back and I'll check on my own time, and then I'll come back and I'll let you know. I ended up getting the song somehow, but I'm not sure how. I think I had you LimeWire it for me.
I mean, yeah, dude, I wasn't really doing a whole lot of the, the permission thing. I kind of just did the LimeWire.
Well, because we had to get everything clean, and I was doing it right.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't handle the clean version.
Yeah, so you were LimeWiring them, but that freaked me out because they always warned you about the viruses and stuff. You didn't give a flying. You didn't give a flying hoot.
Well, dude, I mean, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen if you get a virus?
Nothing.
You go get it fixed.
Nothing.
Go get it fixed.
Never got one. You never had one.
No.
But anyways, Soulja Boy's now going after Ariana Grande.
You're a thief.
Saying he's a thief. Dude, just look at Soulja Boy.
He's dope, dude. I followed him on Instagram.
I should.
So basically, though, a few people have come out and said that Ariana's new song that she just came out with the music video for sounds a lot like Pretty Boy Swag. And I didn't really hear the resemblance that much. I mean, the people that are listening will have to let us know.
I didn't even listen to the Ariana Grande song, but I could see though similar. if you're Soulja Boy, it's just like the guy that did it with This Is America with Childish Gambino, if you remember. There's like the really low budget guy, and he's like, "This is my track," and it's like, we want to believe you, man, we do, but not seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, and it. Music has just gotten to the point where
can she not be influenced? Because if you remember, like, Ariana Grande is not that much older than us, so like she would have been cranking that to Soulja Boy.
Yeah, she would have also been cranking
that to Soulja Boy in high school.
Yeah, she would have been going to high school dances,
Pretty Boy
cranking
Swag,
that to
because, like, what is that, 9 years ago, dude? She
This
would have been in
right
middle
here
school or high school.
Is my swag.
9 years ago? What is
Oh.
she, 25?
Girls on me now. Dude, but that's one of those songs that kind of like everybody thinks of when they think of like that cadence of this right here is my swag. Like that
Very
whole
2010 era.
yeah, but like that's just it's a big even in music
Foot fell asleep.
in general with music today, you know, like there's only so many things you can do.
I know, like, and then you run out, you know.
Yeah, and Ariana is just trying to make hits and mend broken hearts, dude.
Maybe.
Break new ones.
Thank you, next.
But yeah, dude.
But shout out to Soulja Boy, dude, for just being back.
Yeah, Soulja Boy's back. Little Young Weezy, bye back.
Well, I bet
He's
I wouldn't be
back.
surprised if we don't see an album drop.
Young Moolah, baby.
All right, so that's it for this. It looks like.
Yeah, give me my credit.
Give me my credit.
Period. Yeah, dude, he's stop stealing my swag. Word.
Shift your attention here. These women are impeccable. Dude, what's so funny is, like, those are just regular tweets, and he's just jumping in saying, LOL, stop stealing my swag.
Soulja Boy reminds me
You're
of
a
like a
thief.
new Soulja Boy reminds me of like a guy who's an up and coming UFC fighter.
Just talking shit.
That's how he acts like Aljamain Sterling or like not even him, more like Stylebender. He's literally acting like Stylebender.
Dude, it cracks me up.
All right, what else do we have here for currents outside of Soulja Boy?
Oh, dude, I've got a lot to say here. 2 dead following infection linked to pigeon droppings at hospital. And we want to think the birds aren't in cahoots with the devil? Please, someone at me with a good reason as to why the devil and the birds aren't in cahoots.
You know
Do
what?
you have a reason as to why they aren't? Because to
don't.
me, look, everyone loves children, dude. Even if you've never met a children, if a child is minding its own business, it's not crying, everyone loves that child.
True.
Unless it's a bad person with devilish thoughts.
'Kay.
Right?
I guess.
I was a young child at one point. I was taking pictures. And you remember this? I was chased by geese. A whole
Yep.
gang of them.
A whole gang of geese.
Only a devil's animal would
band
do
of
that.
geese.
And only another animal, unless it's a coyote who's just trying to eat, they're just dropping shit they ate.
This is
They're not eating.
All right, dude. I get that I get where you're all
And
at,
it's a
dude.
pigeon,
but like
dude. For
this is
what,
this is at
dude?
a hospital
Yeah.
and this is pigeon shit. Now, did someone eat it? Did they
okay, hold on.
did they shoot it up? How did
Contracted the disease in Glasgow, Scotland. Patients, a child and elderly man, were being treated for
Scotland?
Cryptococcus. That just sounds Scottish. Cryptococcus. An airborne fungus that's typically linked to wild bird feces. Yeah, dude. It's only in wild birds. Get them out. The board that runs the hospital confirmed that the senior man died from unrelated the causes, while the factors contributing to the child's death are still under investigation. NHS officials.
Yeah, dude. We gotta. Okay, so it's one of those things where like most people don't get sick if they're exposed to it, but it's an exposure thing though. I mean that means that like you don't even have to really do anything, and there's a possibility that like just being near it could you know.
I mean, a pigeon will shit on a car, dude.
A pigeon will shit on a person.
I mean, you're
dude,
gonna open your
they
car
will-
door and
A
die.
pigeon will number 2 on a person, not even think twice.
Yeah, man. So like, I mean, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, dude, that's
not
a
a good
bad
animal.
situation.
That's
You
a bad
gotta
animal.
we gotta do some sort of control with that. What else do we have?
I think we I got some ideas. Someone said something about rice. Works wonders.
Ah, this
Oh,
one
this is a sad one.
bums
dude.
me out.
Bam Margera, friends worried he's going to die despite AA meetings. He doesn't look great. Not my Bam Margera.
Listen to some of these.
That's my Bam Margera.
Listen to some of these people who are worried about him dying. Brandon Novak, who was one of the craziest jackass guys. Steve-O,
the craziest jackass guy,
who I just learned today snorted cocaine that had blood, HIV positive blood. Like he scraped up coke residue from his drug dealer's house who was HIV positive, and it happened to have blood in it. And he was so addicted that he literally scraped the residue to get a pile of blow to snort it, and it had HIV positive blood.
Damn.
Yeah.
Did he get it?
No, because I guess like if the blood is blood is exposed to air,
not for me.
Then the virus can't survive that long. You know, if there's all that oxygen, the blood itself can't survive that long.
Right.
So it was probably dead
blood,
and he didn't get it. But it's still nasty to think about. But yeah, dude, Bam is on a downward spiral.
He's gonna be a sad one to lose because for me, he was my what was the show called again? Bam's World.
Viva La Bam.
Viva La Bam, dude. I had like all the seasons on tape, or not on tape, but on CD. I used to watch them, man.
Okay, so on the same.
Got me into skateboarding.
So Bam got a DUI. He got a DUI that he's clearing through that. Fellow Jackass star Brandon Novak told us he's concerned over his buddy's drinking habits. Bam's lawyer was busy submitting legal docs. Blah, blah, blah. According to the docs obtained by TMZ, Bam completed a 3-month online alcohol program and attended 10 AA meetings. He's still on probation. Brandon told us he was super sketched out when Bam checked himself out of a Bay Area rehab facility earlier this month because he believes Bam could end up killing himself if he doesn't clean up his act. Dude, when the first one went, Ryan Dunn, that was
different though.
It was, but
it was an accident.
Yeah, but that really impacted Bam.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like ever since then, it's just been like
downhill.
He's had a really hard time, and I think that anybody that goes through so many experiences where like they coulda, shoulda, woulda died, but didn't, and then eventually one of their friends does, then like there's I'm sure a ton of guilt to where Bam's like, dude, that could have been fucking me at any point. But it was
He's thinking, it could have been me. It could have been.
But it was
Knoxville,
my best friend. It was my best friend instead, and now I gotta live and deal with all this shit. The show's done. Everything's done. Nobody really even skateboards anymore. What the fuck am I gonna do? You know, and so he's just got point. It's a Bam good point, and he's just got you know, it's so sad because he was really
icon.
Yeah, I mean, he at this point he's kind of too old to die young, and if he died now, it would be tragic.
What's his age now? Does it say?
I don't know, but he looks too old to die young. You can't go out looking like that, dude. That's a sad story.
He was robbed at gunpoint in Colombia too. There's an ad for it.
Yeah, I believe that.
Ugh. Man,
he's got to get it together, man. Steve-O's really getting his shit together. Mike Tyson's turning it around.
But like, what is he? I don't know what he's gonna do.
Well, Bam really could do anything. I mean, he's really, really a funny dude situationally, and I think that he's good for pushing the envelope. I mean, he was a good personality to have on the tube, I think, growing up. Like, I don't know.
Funny, they're always doing the crazy shit. Uncle Vito.
He got into a whole gang of trouble.
Uncle Vito, yeah.
But like the Nitro Circus guys, that, you know, when that went out, I'm sure Travis Pastrana struggles, but not as much as these guys do because they weren't as close as.
Well, yeah, and then the other thing
Jackass,
is too,
but
Nitro Circus did not go on as long as like it didn't have as long of a run. I feel like is
well, they ended up going and doing more live shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, they kind of just went a different direction.
Yeah, they had a different business model, but like they had the guy Eric, I think it was Eric Roner.
Plus, it was like a way more controlled.
Was it Roner that just died?
I don't know. I've been out of the loop.
Roner died. Well, he was doing the wingsuit thing and went into a tree, you know, and it's like, but I watched a video of that dude getting blobbed off of the world's tallest building.
Yeah.
And
that was him.
Yeah, and he survived. Or jumping out of a plane without a parachute
on TV. Yeah.
And you know, I don't think it's really tragic to die doing something you love, but when you're not doing something you love and you're living in that kind of despair,
when you're killing yourself because you're sad, you're not still doing the stuff you love.
Yeah, that's when it's tragic. That's when it's tragic to die.
Well, it's because you know, he probably just hasn't found that other
purpose.
Yeah, because like you can't. Skateboarding's obviously a young person's game. You know, you're not going to see that Bam throwing kick flips.
No, dude. I mean, I think Kanye is probably better on a skateboard right now than Bam.
Could be.
He just did that video.
No one ever taught him how to ollie.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, because Tony Hawk, he made enough money to bounce. I mean, he's probably doing a bunch of shit.
Well, yeah, and he just...
Like Peyton, he's like the Peyton Manning of skateboarding to me.
He was like the guy who was just like, you know what, dude, I did that 720.
Gretzky.
Let's make a few video games.
And let's Tiger Woods, dude.
Yeah, exactly. To where like he's the only one everyone knows. If you skateboard, they're gonna call you Tony Hawk.
Yeah. Yep.
But then
he's the Tiger
way more
Woods.
Street. And then when it got more street, it became way more brands versus individuals. Like Tony Hawk had his own skateboards. There's the Birdhouse, dude. How many of you know what Birdhouse is exactly? That's what he used to skateboard with. But then it became way more about the street brands, I think.
Yeah.
Where it was like Element, what he was a part of. I don't think he owned Element though. I think he was just sponsored by Element. And then there's
it got tricky with those guys because like BGK. They all had different deals. Like I listened to this thing where Rob Dyrdek with DC, what he would do is like he would negotiate percentages of the shoe sales that he would design. So like he would put himself on the design team at DC, and then but then he wouldn't get paid like a design team guy. Those people make 40 or 50 grand a year. Rob though was designing but then also taking a percentage of it and making fucking bank. But I don't know what other skate companies, is my point, that were doing those sorts of deals and stuff like that.
Probably not much. Well, there's no way they had the money to. Because DC was big, but like Element, what he was sponsored by, wasn't that big. Like they kind of had shoes, but they weren't DC shoes.
But Bam had the show. I mean, Bam's made a lot of money, dude. I mean, he's had.
Yeah, well, he's probably still doing fine. I don't even think it's probably not even money that's an issue.
No, but
it's got to just be purpose.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just
it's like sad. A dog. It's like a dog whose like owner died, you know, and the dog has like no purpose, you know. And it's just a puppy running around.
Yeah.
Finding homes.
What's weird is Bam was like the leader of the gang too. Obviously the show was his show.
Well,
Viva La Bam.
Yeah.
But I think like that even makes it more impactful because, you know, he's like he feels essentially responsible for maybe Ryan Dunn's death. I don't know, dude, but the whole thing is really sad, and I hope that he can get out of there because Bam was dope, man.
I used to wear my hat backward to the side like him too. There's a picture of me somewhere of trying to fucking pose like Bam. I used to have the sticker, the pins. I loved Bam, dude.
Yeah, you were a huge Bam guy.
I wanted to be him.
I was more of a Ryan Dunn guy, and so
I wanted to be Bam.
And I wanted to be Ryan Dunn. I was so bummed when he died. I remember we were actually at Lake Powell. We were there for like a week, and that he died in the middle of it.
Remember that?
We found out I somehow got cell service that day, or maybe it was even on the news. There was satellite TV or something, and I saw it. I was so bummed.
That's a bummer.
Anyways, dude, what else do we have? Hopefully something a little happier.
We do. Ray J.
Oh yeah, dude.
Ray J.
Shout out to Ray J.
B-Day car buying spree good for me. ... and charity. Now hold on a second.
Yeah. First of all, TMZ, it's not just a charity.
What it is
they're child help
done.
They're getting shit done and preventing child abuse and neglect.
Yeah. So don't just call it a charity.
It's not just a charity.
TMZ. We don't just call you a fucking shitty media outlet.
Yeah, dude. You guys are TMZ. It's child help.
That was it.
67 Camaro, fully loaded up and redone.
This was at Barrett Jackson in Scottsdale.
Beautiful 67 Camaro.
165K tab. And what's cool is this.
How much did you pay?
165K.
Ooh.
That was the most that they've gotten at a child help.
That's so cool,
for
dude.
Barrett Jackson. So shout out to Ray J for
and
that, man.
All that money goes to child help too.
Yep.
Which is so dope.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, Child Help is the charity that we're always talking about and a part of. So if you want more information on them, check them out because it's the greatest organization in the world.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty special, man. That's cool. And he's gonna be at Drive the Dream, which is the big annual event for Child Help, and he's gonna bring the car. We're gonna get to meet him, dude.
How about Dad, dude?
Yeah, how about Dad? Fucking, he was sending us. He
texted us in the group. Do you know who Ray J is?
Yeah, I was like, nah, don't know who Ray J is, dude. And he's like,
I'm like, I almost said back, look him up.
Yeah, I almost said Google him.
Just see what comes up.
And
I didn't know what he was doing.
Well, I didn't know what he knew. Like, I didn't know if Dad, and I also didn't know if I didn't know how Ray J was as a person, and I'm excited to like start to get to know how he is, because at first I for sure would think that Ray J would be a guy that walks around saying, I'm Ray J, I made Kim Kardashian famous. Like, that would be a shirt. But it turns out he's way different than that, and he's such a nice dude.
Yeah.
Apparently. My dad had no idea, neither my mom, or anybody with child help. And my dad texted me, and we just started laughing.
Yeah, like, what are you doing with Ray J?
Yeah, we're
Where'd you find Ray J?
Why are you with Ray J?
Of all people, how'd you
sending me selfies and shit, and I was like, that is nuts.
And then he came, and then he came in, and then Ray J came in.
Did Ray J come in, or?
He's trying to. And request timed out.
Interesting.
Is that an internet issue? Then Ray J just came in like. I wish I had the clean version because that was.
You know who's
for the.
What's funny? What's a funny thing to do is dance like
that song was
Nick Kroll and Get Him to the Greek. Listening to hip hop. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he's like, when they play that song, he's like, I'm going to fuck your bitch. I'm going to tap your bitch. It was super aggressive. And Nick Kroll's just like.
yeah.
I'm with that, bro.
You got to do that.
I'm
at the
with
club.
that.
That's the club dance.
If you're Nick Kroll, maybe.
Anyways, that's all I got. Shout out to Ray J.
Shout out to Ray J.
I'm
excited to meet him.
We had a couple listener topics. But
I'm super hungry.
I'm hungry, and it's getting late. But like,
let's do one.
Well, okay. So this one we kind of already talked about, but like not really. It was just talking about Ray J a little bit.
Ray J? We just talked about Ray J.
Oh, fuck. Oops. 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 I made a big mistake. I meant R. Kelly.
Oh, that's a different dude.
Oops. I'm done for the night.
Oh, man.
Oops.
Yeah.
Way different dude. Oops.
Well,
oops.
going into...
Oops, I'm so sorry, Ray J.
In all fairness, going into all of this, I probably wouldn't have thought that they were that different. Like, before the R. Kelly thing came out and before this came out.
Well, they kind of were in the same camp, you know,
right?
B singer with
yeah.
the R.
Well,
Ray.
it's just nuts how like 1 week R. Kelly comes out as being a fucking nutcase.
Well,
and
when
then
I was
next
a kid,
week,
I thought R. Kelly. I thought it was like a Diddy Puff Daddy situation where like R. Kelly just went to Ray J. When I was young, when Sexy Can I came out, I thought that it was the same guy. You thought that was
R. Kelly
because I thought R. Kelly did what Diddy did and just said, I'm not Puff Daddy anymore. I'm Diddy.
Yeah.
And then, a year ago, he said he's Love, and then he never stuck with that.
Oh, yeah, he didn't stick with that. That was funny.
He's like, this year I'm changing my name to Love. Huh?
Yeah, dude.
And then he didn't.
No, yeah, so R. Kelly, it's only a matter of time until I'll say this, because we're honestly, it's probably a little late to even be talking about this, but I think that like it's only a matter of time until everybody that is like him, where they were doing shady and shifty shit behind closed doors.
Right.
It's only a matter of time until those people are getting found out left and right.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the one thing that we need to be a little more conscientious of would be empathy, in the sense that while he is this monster and I'm as on board with beating the shit out of him as anybody else, right? But at the same breath, at the end of the day, he's still a human being.
Yeah.
And he still has to figure out how to move on from this. And it's not our job to make that more difficult for him.
Right.
Necessarily. I think like he needs to understand and pay whatever consequences he's owed. But I think that also we need to realize that he also has to have some sort of a way to come back or have some sort of redemption, I guess. It just makes it hard when we,
I don't know,
we condemn and motherfuck people.
It's hard for people to ever have like a second chance or redemption
when there's no empathy.
Although the good thing is for people in this situation is that there's so much, like, everything's moving so quick and there is so much noise in the world that like people will forget about it in a few years, but they shouldn't though, because he shouldn't be.
Yeah, but is forgetting about it? Is forgetting about it?
It's hard to be empathetic for the things he did, but where you can have empathy is in the fact that
not for the stuff he
probably
did.
Didn't choose to be that way, and there's probably there's something that happened.
He was probably abused.
Control. Yeah, there's probably shit that he couldn't control.
He was probably fucked up, and that doesn't give him any excuse.
Right.
Not to say that, but to understand that we've all been fucked up and we've all done bad things that are on different levels. There's levels to bad things, and there's telling a white lie, and then there's pissing on people.
Mm-hmm.
We've adequately talked about both here today, and but at the end of the day, sin's a sin. It's all bad. In the eyes of the,
it really is.
In the eyes of the Lord. So
the problem is, it's not really up to us to decide.
Like, do I fuck with R. Kelly? No. Do I fuck with his music? No. Not even. I'm not even gonna listen to.
Step in the name of love.
No. What's the other one that was in Project X?
Your body's calling.
No,
baby,
my mind's telling me no. I don't want to. I'm not even gonna do anything more than that.
3 R. Kelly songs. I'm gonna have a tougher time than you are with it. Not listening to R. Kelly.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even gonna listen to
What's funny is
to that anymore.
I have R. Kelly in my I got an R&B like soul playlist, and I was dating a girl, and R. Kelly would come on once in a while in the car.
Talk a little closer in the mic.
Probably why it didn't work out was because I had R. Kelly in the car playing. Bad luck. It's that bad karma.
Bad juju. Well, you know, R. Kelly's back and in a negative space. We've got Soulja Boy back.
Ray J. I almost called him RJ. Ray J is back in a good way, and Soulja Boy's back in a
fiery
whatever way you want to look
fiery.
at it. Yeah.
He's fiery.
From your perspective.
He's fiery. Soulja Boy's back. You got Ray J back, and R. Kelly's unfortunately back. And let's get him in jail, huh?
And let's send us off with I guess.
Any announcements?
Not for me.
Me neither.
Hey guys, crank that this week, and
don't forget to subscribe.
Don't
share.
Forget to subscribe.
Please subscribe. We're finally getting some traction with some of these subscribers.
Yeah, guys, the zoo's starting to grow a little bit.
Zoo's growing.
We're picking up, and that's part of the reason why we're still doing it. So
zoo's growing. Hopefully, we'll get a studio here soon. That'll be fun.
We're working on it.
But yeah, share us with a friend.
We're also working on the merch stuff, but I don't even know if anyone's like keeping that close to a.
Okay, yeah. Well,
that's it.
For those of you guys just tuning in, I'm Jay.
I'm Z.
And together we're Jay-Z. So have a hoot load of fun this week. And it's officially been socially awkward.
Don't forget to crank that this week.
Yeah.
I'm
jocking on.
This feeling right now, man, I swear it feel. Yeah.